Hello everyone, in this video I will try to teach you the basics of the stock market and everything you need to know to get started, because I think it is very important to know what you are doing before jumping in the market, because the last thing you want is to lose your money because of some stupid mistakes or because you didn't know what you are doing. So I tried to cover the most basic and at the same time very important things, and I'll try to make the video as short as possible. So without further ado, let's start with the first thing, and that is when does the market open. So the market opens at 9:30 a.m. and closes at 4 p.m. Exceptions make the cryptocurrencies because they are open 24/7. Now, something that I will advise you is to never buy stocks when the market is closed, because your order will be put on pending until the market opens, and believe me, a lot can happen in the pre-hours. Which leads us to the next thing, and that is pre-hours and after hours. After hours is when the market closes at 4 p.m, but you can still see how is a certain stock moving in price. And some brokers even allow you to trade after hours. Pre-hours is basically the same, you can see how is a certain stock doing before the market opens. Now let's talk about what is stop loss and take profit, but first let me put a disclaimer that I don't use these options, especially the stop loss, because I normally invest long term or I swing trade, and I don't want my positions to be closed because a certain stock that I have invested in had a bad day. Basically, stop loss is when you tell your broker at which price you want them to close a certain position that you own, and the take profit one is basically the same. It's when you tell your broker at which price you want them to close your position. Now, the take profit one can be kinda helpful and sometimes useful if, let's say, you want to sell a stock at the exact price that you have targeted at. Personally, I don't use either of them, but I'm more willing to use the take profit than the stop loss. Now, the next thing that you need to know, and if you're someone who wants to put their money somewhere as safe as possible and doesn't have the time to research individual companies, this is probably for you. I'm talking about index funds. So what is an index fund? Index fund is a portfolio of stocks or bonds designed to mimic the composition and the performance of a financial market index. An example for that is the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is, let's say, like a basket of the US 500 best performing companies. Now, why is the S&P 500 good? When a certain stock or even a certain sector goes down in price or has a small crash, correction, and etc., the other companies will compensate the loss. For example, if the whole tech sector goes down in price and you have invested in the S&P 500, you won't be hit as hard because the other, let's say, 490 companies will compensate the loss from the 10 tech companies that have gone down in value. That's why for the past 100 years the S&P 500 has given an average of 9% return every single year. That's why people say that if you want your money invested somewhere as safe as possible, the S&P is probably your best choice. And now guys, the most important thing of all, the rule that I want you to remember and always follow is to always be well diversified. This is the most important thing, so that you don't have to panic when some sector goes down in price because you are well diversified. If, let's say, the EV and tech sector goes down in value, like what's happening right now, you won't care because, let's say, you have also invested in the financial, healthcare and energy sector as well. Just remember this guys, that diversification is the most important thing in building a strong portfolio. So yeah, I think this is it for the video. I tried to cover the most basic and important things you need to know to get started with investing. Don't be like me, because when I started I didn't do much research, and some things I learned midway. I learned from some I learned from my own mistakes. And yeah, I really hope this video helped you in some way. If it did, I will really appreciate a like, and also if you have some questions, write them in the comments and I'll try my best to answer you. And if you want me to do a part 2 where I explain what is forex, leverage, some of the strategies like the 4% rule, and overall go more in depth with the market, tell me in the comments below. And yeah, again, this is not a financial advice, I'm just trying to help you start your trading journey as well prepared as possible. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!